Welcome back, everybody, to a brand new episode of The Lookout. Of course, I am here, and we are here, and it's Manga Week on The Lookout. To be honest with you, this is something special, something different, something that we probably should have done all the times we had the Big Eyes podcast. But now that I think about
Back
it,
when I was super tapped into manga, I'm like,
yeah. Well,
this is gonna be a fun episode for me because, I'm gonna be real. Let me give a disclaimer before we get super started into it. After Big Eyes, I was like, yo, I haven't watched anime and just sat and watched anime in a very long time because I read it all the time, and like it's. When I'm doing one, it's hard for me to do the other. Like, my time commitment is either one or the other. So I've been spending a lot more time catching up on animes and taking a break from reading. And now we're doing Manga Week, and this is fun for me because I spent some time catching up on like the bigger stuff that I've been missing out on, the MHAs, the JJKs, but this is also giving me a time to like get caught up on, like, hear what's actually going on and see what I've missed. So I'm excited to hear about a lot of stuff.
Well, listen, you aren't here alone, obviously. We had to bring in reinforcements, obviously. I mean, Big Eyes, manga, why not? AD is also here. AD, what's up, man?
What's going on? Even after Big Eyes for me too, I haven't watched that much anime, if I'm being for real. I'm not gonna hold you.
Really? So it's been the opposite for both you guys.
I've been watching a hell of sports, a lot of live action stuff, a lot more. Like, I just wanted to tap back into reality for a couple of months. I'm not even gonna hold you.
Damn, that's crazy. Big Eyes has been over for months, guys. Big Eyes has been over for a long ass time.
You gotta think about how much reading. You gotta think about how much reading we were doing. Like, we were reading all the, like, it was like submerged in manga. It was crazy. It was like,
of course, no, I understand.
Nah, yeah, but this is fun because I kind of miss it. I can't lie. I kind of miss being submerged in it, and this is the week that the Manga Week's the week y'all buy me back. This is how I get bought back into manga.
Well, listen, this is a good week to jump back in because it's the week before Golden Week, which is the week pretty much every manga takes off. Mangaka's able to stretch their shoulder blades and crack their backs and go see their chiropractor appointments and everything of the rather to avoid them from, completely turning into a Nature Valley bar. But we're here, obviously, to talk about a little bit of manga this week. It's Manga Week on The Lookout. You can see a lot of amazing and great posts on our Twitter page. Make sure you follow us at The Lookout RNC on Twitter. And yeah, I mean, this festivities have already started. Before we hop in, then, damn, I was really gonna ask you guys, like, I guess what you've been reading up, but everyone has been avoiding the anime like the plague.
I've been reading a little bit, but like I anime itself, like besides the big stuff like Chainsaw Man that came out, like Bleach for a little bit, and My Hero, like honestly from last year to now.
Well, yeah, you're a binger. You wait till everything is done. Like you wait till I'm pretty sure. Have you watched season 6 of My Hero?
I watched the first half of it. I haven't seen the second half.
Okay, well, it's done. So just give you it's up. It's done. But I don't know if you're waiting till season 7 to binge it all, but it's done.
Okay.
But nonetheless, I think
was what Trigun. That was
Trigun is also done. Trigun is also done. It is not.
Trigun was hard.
The story's not finished, but it's done airing. And currently we're in Demon Slayer, Dr. Stone, Hell's Paradise season.
Hell's Paradise is so good. Oh my gosh. I'm so bought in on Hell's Paradise. So that's about to get me back reading manga.
Yeah.
Seeing that first episode of Hell's Paradise, I gotta figure out what the rest of this story. So Hell's Paradise is something. Yeah. Once I saw that first episode, I was like, I have to know what happened.
I would say it's a different experience. I did watch like the first few episodes of Harold's Paradise when I saw it because I got all the volumes here, and it's a different reading experience. Like you never know what's going to happen on the next page. I promise you. Like it's such an interesting story and an interesting way that they dive into the fantastical element of a lot of things that are. If you've seen it, so first of all, they go to the island, they try to figure out what's going on there, but there's a lot more that's under the layers. And I think this last episode 4 or whatever, should be diving into like, oh shit, there is some crazy stuff that's happening. Like, where did all of this come from? So I recommend it.
I'm about to tap in. It looks insane, and it's one of those ones where I was like, I can't wait to figure out what's about to go on. Like I need to figure out now. So,
absolutely.
Listen, I plan on jumping into.
I hear you, and it's part of my rotation now as well. As I continue to go through things, and then I'm a maniac, so I restarted My Hero. Don't blame me. Like seeing everything that happens now and seeing everything that happens in the beginning, because you get context of everything.
You can wait
for what?
You got like another season. You got like one season left.
I'm gonna watch it all over again.
You can watch it completely again.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm on my like.
Wait until it's all.
I'm on my like 5th. When I promise you, after every season, I rewatch the show. I'm on my like 5th rewatch. I promise you, after every season, it's just like sometimes I don't make it past a certain point. Like if we get to like the remedial exam where Todoroki and Bakugo fail that test and then have to try to like make it up. Sometimes I don't get past there. Sometimes it's like, all right, this is a little bit too boring now. But realistically, like, yeah, I watch it over and over and over and over again. So it's one of those ones for me that I'm just going to watch.
That's crazy.
Over. You know what? No, it's not. Restore the feeling of watching anime over and over again. Like, we don't do that. We watch it once. When's the last time you watched something over and over again? That's not One Piece, AD.
Black Clover. I'll say that.
Ooh. That's crazy.
Okay. LJ, when's the last time you watched something over and over again?
Demon Slayer.
There you go. See? And no one's going to judge you for that.
I'm rewatching.
But Demon Slayer is not like... That's like...
Not what?
That's a lot of episodes to be rewatching.
Hey man,
like,
listen.
You're starting from season 1.
It's 100 something
Demon
episodes.
Slayer's like got 12 episode seasons.
Bro, I had to watch the entire thing of One Piece. Not One Piece. The entire thing of Naruto in 2 weeks to prepare for Summer Akame House, like last summer or 2 summers ago. So this is like nothing. And like anime pacing back then used to be way more trash than it is now. So it's really nothing. It's like all an experience in its own various different ways. But you know what? I feel you. I feel your concern. I'm a maniac. I've accepted it. But I'm gonna rewatch stuff. I'm gonna rewatch stuff that I like over and over again. I've watched Dragon Ball Z like a million fucking times, and each time I laugh at a various part.
Maniac.
No, man, restore the feeling of watching your favorite stuff over and over again, enjoying it for different reasons, enjoying it on different watches. I'm the only one I'm saving to rewatch is Attack on Titan. I'm saving until it ends so I can watch it all over again, for sure. Well, appreciation.
I just can't do that with My Hero. That's just it's too many episodes.
You'd be surprised. I feel like you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how refreshing it is.
At least you're not AD. AD be rewatching One Piece. Listen, man.
Wicked. If it's good, it's good. That's all I'm gonna say.
There you go. See, listen. You're judging me. Come on, man. You'd be surprised.
Rewatching One Piece. I can't really say much about it.
Hey, man. You gonna watch?
But listen, man. Hold on, Meelz. Do you rewatch Pokemon? Let me ask you that from the beginning.
Yes.
Okay. So you see the transition of animation from Pokemon's all the seasons of Pokemon, right? That's how I feel about One Piece. Like the
I'm
transition.
not a big rewatcher, so I can't. I'm like, listen, seeing it once is enough for me most of the time.
Nah, you gotta
listen. Got like 3 episodes. Like
it's different. It
It's
hits
like
different
27
multiple
episodes. Okay,
times.
cool.
It does. I'm not
Nah,
going. Depending on the show, like you pick up
it,
on certain things, certain characters say. I'm like,
yeah,
oh shit! Like
it hits
that's how
different
long
multiple
ago.
times. Listen, man, it was probably on my eighth rewatch of watching Dragon Ball Z, where Gohan is fighting Cell and he gets his arm taken out by Cell for blocking that shit for Vegeta, and
Maybe I'm the crazy one.
me realizing that that's the same arm that future Gohan lost. You know what I'm saying? Like the little parallels and things you don't pick up on the first, second, third, or even fourth rewatch. Like you notice these little things. So that's why I'm like, I'm all, if it's good, rewatch it. Ain't nobody, and especially if it keeps going, rewatch it. I'm probably never gonna watch Haikyuu again. I love Haikyuu, but I'm probably never gonna watch it again. But I'll rewatch. I'm on my third rewatch of Jujutsu Kaisen. Once season 2 finishes, I'm gonna rewatch it again. Like stand for your favorites, man. Listen, we're in a good world here, but you know what? I want to slide into the manga world as we talk about
Okay.
watching, and because we got a couple notable things that are going on. But what I want to really kind of do is, rather than just kind of focus on the chapter this week, we want to kind of like focus on the setting of things. So obviously, if you're anime only, this episode is not for you. But if you want to, indulge in the conversation, feel free to do so. But where should we kind of get started? Because the biggest one that happened this week is definitely JJK, Jujutsu Kaisen, and kind of where it's
Yeah.
at. But is there another place that we want to start? Do you feel like there's another manga that we can like get things started with?
Um.
I I don't think so. What happens
Yeah.
this week
Yeah.
is just
That's
too
probably the
big.
biggest. Like there was an account
How many
for how
days?
many
Where's what's the
days.
day count? Someone pull up the day
It's like
count.
189. I saw it yesterday. It's like 189, 190. Almost 1,200 days since Gojo was sealed, and he's officially out today. It was free Gojo until Gojo's free. That shit backwards now. He's out. We're here. It's an amazing time.
Did a
Listen,
bid.
okay, so
He did a real life bid.
he was sealed initially on January 3rd, 2020, pre-COVID. You know what I'm saying? That was the initial chapter. That was the date that he was originally sealed during the Shibuya incident. It's really one of the highlights and pretty much really kicking off things of like how everything shakes out for the second half of JJK. With that said, he is officially free today by various means. But I kind of want to talk about like how we kind of got here, because to be honest with you, the last time that you guys were doing this thing on a weekly basis, we were still in the Cullen games. Um, I feel like we're approaching the other side of the Cullen games, or perhaps the Cullen games doesn't matter. Because JoJo's back. I mean, Gojo's back, but it's not like he can enter the Cullen games at this point. It really doesn't
Well,
matter.
they made the culling. I
Yeah.
mean, they made the culling games obsolete once they started
Yeah.
adding in those last couple rules. Once they
Yeah.
added
Well,
in those
yeah.
last couple
They
rules,
said no one else
the
can
culling games is
declare for
obsolete.
it. Yeah, no one else can declare for it. I'm not sure if that's going to have any,
But it
thing.
also doesn't
But
end until either one of them die, Megumi
until
or
everyone else dies, or or the other
ye-
two die, Sukuna and Kenjaku die, or everyone else
yeah,
dies. Um, and one is easier than the other. I'm assuming everyone else dying is easier than the other. But
No, yeah, for sure.
with that said, I mean the Cullen games is kind of like we talked about this a couple weeks ago, Jamal, with Cyrus. But the Cullen games is kind of like, I think we're moving past it at this point, or else I mean, I think they're going to continue to add rules. I'm not sure who else they're going to kill to get points. I mean, at this point, there's not really much more to
I,
do. Go ahead.
yeah, once they added those last two rules, that to me was kind of the end of the culling games,
Like
because
we're approaching
now
like the final saga.
the rules, the rules are simple now. Kill these two or everybody dies, and
Yeah.
hmm
that's the only way the game ends. So every other rule beforehand is essentially obsolete, which to me pisses me off a little bit. But hey, I guess like we went through a lot for the culling games. Like the culling games were boosted to a crazy point, and then
Yeah.
now it's kind of just like,
Well,
actually,
it
never
was
mind.
they entered it as a mean. Well, for one, Kenjaku started the Culling Games essentially to carry out his plan, but they also entered it as a means to find this one person who was going to help free Gojo, and essentially they freed Gojo this week. So I feel like one person's plan is already in motion and it looks like it's going very well according to plan, and then their plan is successful as well, being able to free him from the back gate. um how have you guys felt about Sukuna's kind of like run over these last number of chapters, like just his appearance, his incorporation into the show, or show and into the series, in an actual character way, not like just a feature thing? Like, how do you feel about Sukuna and the role that he's played over the last number of weeks?
It's about time that he's finally got here. Like he's always been in the background since the beginning, and the fact that the plan was always to get him, his body back, to which he still hasn't gotten his body back, but Kenjaku is going to take it to him from the glitch rules.
That shit
I
like a
just think.
Slim Jim. That shit like jerky. Ugh.
Man, listen, I did not. I don't know what to expect from that either. Like, how is that? Is he gonna look like All For One, like OG All For One, all the way back to like how is that gonna work?
He's gonna get
Because
his real body back. He's gonna be like, my body, like what I can do with this
Like,
thing. Like,
yeah, but that's crazy that we're finally at this point. We get to see him. He got to flex a little bit in the fight with Megumi's sister. I think her name is Yozaru, the
yeah,
incarnated
yeah,
form.
yeah, or
Um,
yeah, Yozuru. Yeah, I'm about to say yeah, Yozuru. Come on, I'm too ready for the
man.
next.
Hey, but it's like a lot of that has been built up to a certain point. Like he said, he had a plan for Megumi, finally enacted it, sinking him deeper into the darkness, killed his sister. Essentially, we got to see a flashback of him, in the past for like a hot second, and I think we're finally
hey,
culminating
why?
to.
Hey, why nigga was clean in the past though? When they
Oh
showed
yeah,
him,
oh yeah.
I nigga
They,
came through
Listen,
crazy. Got the
yeah,
crazy robe on.
we got the past
He had the
Gojo arc,
ghost
but
face
can
robe.
somehow we couldn't get the past Sukuna arc. We couldn't get one
I
of
think it's
them.
coming. I think it's
Hey, that
coming.
would have been crazy.
Mm,
It's coming. That's the
interesting.
one thing I
Pascal
think is
arc.
coming.
Okay. Well, listen, Gojo's back. Siri play Pop Smoke Invincible. That's legitimately the feeling that I have. Like, he's back. I'm Everyone is hype. Everyone is anticipated. This is just one of those moments on the internet where the internet breaks for someone's return. Because we're finally seeing this thing kind of come through, and I think, you know what, with the events of the chapter, currently Gojo's back, but then he stopped everything and was like, yo, let's pick up this fight on December 24th, even though the current date in the manga is November 19th. So they have over a month to prepare for pretty much the final battle in this series, featuring Kenjaku and Sukuna
I love
versus.
a good old fashioned let's set a date. Love a
Let's set
good
a
old
date.
fashioned let's set a
Let
date.
me announce the cell
Set a
games.
date.
You know what I'm saying? um,
And it's two
so I'm
years.
sure.
That's the other thing. It's 2 years since Chapter Zero's fight with Yuta and Geto.
Hmm. I wonder how that's going to play into this. Interesting. Um, Date is notable. It is always notable. Let me see. I think we can move on here to another major event that happened in another chapter this week. Because currently, as we're careening towards the end of the JJK universe, we're also doing so for the My Hero Academia universe. I mean, we are in the throes of everything. The final battle, All For One is all for wanting right now. Like, he is really on a
Oh
rampage.
yeah, he's
He's
going
he,
crazy.
he in his younger body doing young boy. He's Team YRN right now. Like, that's where he is. Like, um, he is bodying everything that walks. Just the last chapter, a couple chapters ago, like they were trying to hold him off, and then he was just like, nah, let me stop playing with them, and just damn near destroyed everyone in his path. So currently we're at this point. There's several things going on in this chapter, but there's also several things kind of going on in the My Hero Academia universe. We've got Deku versus Shigaraki, which is yet to be returned, but also there's the looming presence of like Deku's supposed to eventually like shut down or break down or some shit like that, unless they Horikoshi provides some sort of plot armor to that. We've got what's his name? Toya Dobby. He's about to explode. He's about to wrap things up. He's about to say, listen, he's been holding off an explosion that can kill everyone in a 5-kilometer radius. To which Tsukaichi is like, yo, I need some sleep. And then we have I guess the showdown of showdowns. We've reached here as All for One is flying towards Shigaraki to attempt to like link up and do bad bitches things. All Might is standing in his way, and we get the final shot of this chapter before we go on break of his briefcase transforming, his car transforming, and it looks like he's going to enter the battle. He says something that we haven't heard from All Might in quite some time. He says, I am here. And
he's about to die. Oh my god.
Is that well, that was my question.
He's about to die. Oh, this is about to be great. Oh no.
You've been waiting for someone to die in this damn series. You've been waiting for someone important to die in this series forever.
I got real tears in my eyes. These are tears of joy. I'm crying. He's gonna die.
Hey man,
oh my
he can't get his Tony Stark on. He can't get his Tony Stark on, bro. Why he gotta die?
Listen, I've been waiting for this moment. Listen. This is my price because I already know that Shigaraki and Deku are gonna team up at the end.
You think so?
To fight All for One. I think so.
I can see it happening.
Nah, just know to me. I'm pretty sure if I had to give a prediction, All for One is definitely dying for sure. I mean, his body's rewinding to a point where he's going to have to. He's trying to really get into Shigaraki's thing, and I do think that he will. I feel like he will reach him. I don't know. It would be kind of weird if he didn't, right?
He'll reach him for sure. He'll reach him for sure. What do you think this nigga's gonna do?
It's like, well, I think
he's not slowing him down one bit.
Nah, you're bugging. They wouldn't do this to All Might. They wouldn't have All Might completely get ran through like nothing.
He's about to get ragged on. Oh my gosh.
So this form of All for One is stronger somehow because that's how anime works. It's like his purest, and he's more unhinged now because of how Shigaraki's hate has been affecting him. And you know, All for One is, I mean, All Might is ready to put it all on the line. He's like, listen, man, I've stood on the sidelines for too long. He's probably been preparing for this for the last like 3-4 months. He's been ready to do this for a while. Still the future that what's my man that died in season 4, Sir Night Eye, that future that he put out for him, I mean, it still stands. He still says you're going to die the most gruesome death that's ever existed. Kind of like the future devil said to fucking what's my man name in Chainsaw Man?
Aki.
Yeah. He's like, your death is about to fucking rule. But he's yeah, I mean, if I had to do a big prediction, I feel like this is the story of how Deku became the greatest hero. That's why I try to always keep in mind. So it's already off the table that Deku's not dying in this series. I hope.
No, he can't die. He, of all people who can't die, he's on the top of the list.
But I do think, is there a world where Bakugo comes back to life and helps All Might. Damn.
That could go either way.
I feel like because I can't. It's not that I can't see All Might dying. I can very well. I feel like we have a 50-50 chance. But I'm trying to look at the other side of like, okay, so what if All Might doesn't die? Like, how does this happen? He's not This is the final battle between him and All for One. It's the battle that has gone on Wage for War. I feel like we're going to get some flashbacks too. I feel like the next chapter is definitely going to be a cop out because we're going to expect him to see the full mecha All Might. And really what we're going to get is a flashback to like their fights in the past. But I'm trying to figure out what All Might versus All for One looks like.
I want to say that he gets into the Iron Man suit. We kind of see him like he might get ragged off for like a hot second, but this is also tech that came. This has to be tech from like the first movie or where it's supposed to be effective against All for One. Like he wouldn't just pull that out otherwise. You know what I'm saying? Like there has to be something to it that, if not to protect him, it has to at least do considerable damage to All for One.
Right, and I don't want to rule out the fact that someone could very well help All Might in this situation. I feel like to rule that out would be nuts, considering how many people are on the front lines for this.
Oh, I would hate that. No,
because you would hate that because you want him to die so bad.
Bro, did we just not see what All for One just did? You know, tell me a robot suit's gonna stop this man? Please,
hey, man.
don't.
Come on, man. We've seen
a robot suit. And another person's gonna know.
Listen, man, that's his car, bro. His car survived various explosions and stuff like that. I'm sure All Might he got some tricks, some Batman, Iron Man ass, utility belt ass tricks up his sleeve. If anyone knows All for One, it's All Might. If anyone knows the quirks that he has, if anyone knows how to avoid, I mean, this metal suit is clearly to avoid
but
him
he
getting.
ain't go against this version.
Yeah, I feel bars coming from All for One.
All for One's about to he's about to ragdoll this man. There is no helping.
I don't know.
He's done. He's cooked.
I'll have to see it to believe it.
Not Eye's prediction.
He gonna be chilling with Night Eye, you saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely about to be chilling with that man.
Well, no, he don't get to die. His vestige lives inside Deku and shit like that, and probably helps him out.
Oh yeah, he's gonna pop up with all the rest of them finally,
right?
And then that's gonna be the one extra quirk to take Deku to the next level.
It's gonna Gear 5 him. It's gonna
it's gonna be the one to take him to the next level, and that's how he's gonna be able to do the finishing blow. His death is important. It ain't like he's just dying just cause.
He is the symbol of peace. So I don't know. He already got a statue. It's interesting. I'm not saying that he's going to die. I could see it happening, but I also can see a version of this series that doesn't need him dying at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because at this point, he just sits on the sideline. Like he doesn't need to step in like this anymore. At least this is probably the largest threat that they've ever faced, and it's only contained in Japan. Like there's nothing else that he needs to really do going forward. If I'm just thinking about it.
And they don't really do deaths in this series like that. And when they do death, they don't really do it to main characters.
That's whack. Why not?
I mean,
I'm sorry. It's just like I think that
you really want this man to die.
I do.
You're like, My Hero Academia got enough people for them to kill at least one big major guy.
They really do. They got so many people. You can sacrifice one. And why not sacrifice? Like, if you're going to go for it, go for it.
Interesting. Okay. Well, listen, we're here. We're doing the damn thing. What's the next one that we want to cover? Speaking of Gear 5, AD, One Piece. Where are we at with this thing?
Oh
Yeah,
man,
sum me on
listen.
One Piece real quick.
There's a lot of fights that have been happening since the end of Wano. We've gotten Luffy versus Lucci, which is a if you ever get to Water 7 Meals, I think you'll really be sold on One Piece in that arc, because that's probably the best One Piece arc in that
Should I just
section.
skip to it because it ain't go? It's not
Yeah,
looking good.
honestly, I wouldn't blame you. That's like, I don't, what episode is that? Like 220 something, like
Oh
221.
damn! Fuck! I thought meant skip like 700 episodes. All right,
Oh
never
no,
mind.
no, no. But
Go off. Go
that
off.
is probably that was one of the best arcs in One Piece. But we get a rematch from that fight because Luffy kind of slightly got washed in that fight. Then he jumped back into it, and he took over. This time, nigga just ragdoll Lucci. Like when I say ragdoll, it's like Looney Tunes punching, like all kinds of wacky shit. Um, it's been fantastic. We've also gotten Shanks, who is Luffy's mentor, fighting Kid, who is one of his rivals, who is in Wano right now in the anime. And when I tell you that was a wash, that was a big wash, like one shot. He jumped from, I want to say, 200 yards from shore to his ship just to slash him, blow up his weapon, and took out his entire crew, took out his ship, took his treasure, took all of that shit, and just dipped
You,
off.
you know what I've noticed about us anime fans and anime manga fans. We love a good fight, but we also love a good squash as well.
Oh yeah, no, good squash
Yeah.
is always fun. A
We
good squash
love
when someone's just like, yo, that
some
nigga is
cool
way
shit.
too strong.
Maki slices her dad's head off in one shot. Trunks kills Frieza. You know,
Yeah.
one we love a good fight, but we love a good like dominant moment of like power. You know what I'm saying? Like we here.
Like set the status of you saying I'm him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
The
eh,
I'm him. Yes, or I'm
yeah,
them.
yeah.
Yes.
And that was the moment for Shanks right there.
Oh well.
Um, this week we got Garp fighting against Aokiji, who used to be a member of the Marines with Garp, but he left and became a member of Blackbeard's crew. So now they're fighting against each other, and he used to be under Garp. So the fact that like your protege is now fighting against you as a pirate, like how does that turn out? Because we've
Mm.
never seen Garp fight before at all in this series. We've seen him do some crazy shit like launch cannonballs to take out Luffy, and a lot of other stuff, but we've never actually seen him like straight up fight. And these last two chapters, we've seen him destroy an entire town with a single punch, and now he's fighting his mentor, like his mentee. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of crazy stuff happening in One Piece. Oda is setting up a lot of the final fights that we just really have needed to see
So
from
I was
characters.
just gonna ask that, like, how far do you think we're off, or how close do you think we're to the end? Are we really really setting the stages, putting the pieces in play for the finale of this thing?
Yeah, we're setting all the pieces. We've seen a lot of, because here's the thing. Wano only gave us bits, and Wano is a contained arc where there's no news that really comes out of there. So everything that you see in the arc right now is like just them, tackling the situations in that moment. But there's
Hmm.
the greater world of One Piece where a lot of stuff has been happening. There's been falling outs with the government. There are other pirates who have been doing things. Marines have been like making their own plays, and this is after the end of Wano. We've gotten the news of all of that, like kingdoms have been destroyed. People from the revolutionary armies are going missing or killing people in the background from other countries. Like there's been a lot of moving pieces, and this all post Wano stuff has just been setting up the final stage. Oda said it's going to be the final stage. I could see like 2 or 3 years left in the story just by how we've been getting a lot of these fights from characters that we have not seen or have seen them do anything at all in the story.
2 or 3 years left is insane, by the way. It is. It is.
That
I mean, I guess it's
well,
not
I
insane
mean,
for
I
One Piece
thought
fans.
nah, 2 or 3 years is. I was always thinking about 5.
But that's the thing. It's like he's been rushing stuff in
Know
the
how to
manga.
this nigga know how to stretch a story out, man. Listen, he could get an easy 5 more years out of this.
I mean, he could, but he's been rushing stuff in the manga itself just to tell this part, and he hasn't been skipping anything like too much here. Like, there's only one fight that he kind of skipped, and that was Law versus Blackbeard. We just got to the end of that in this chapter. Um, but other than that, he hasn't skipped anything major. He's been like fleshing out characters. Like a lot of things have been happening. Like we haven't really been following Luffy since the beginning of the year. Like, I think it's been about 2 months since we've seen a hint of Luffy.
Interesting. Okay. Well, listen. I mean, I don't know, 2, 3 years is kind of a lot. But if we're approaching the end and we're setting up all the pieces, hopefully someone will be kind enough to buy me one giant $1,000 mega volume, One Piece thing. I'm pretty sure it's gonna come, and it's not even gonna be like one box. It's just gonna be a bookcase that's delivered to you, filled with various volumes of One Piece. So, um, I
That's
mean,
what I
that would be
expect at
hard.
some point.
Yeah, that would be hard. I mean, just a whole bookcase full with them. But
Not
I'm
gonna be me,
liking that.
but
No, it's gonna be like $1 million. Um, let's move into another anime. I want to talk about. We've reached the second part of this anime, and I don't want to say it's completely different than the first part. It's definitely got hints of the first part, but I'm talking about Chainsaw Man Part Two. Um,
mm,
Continuing with the story, I'm not sure if you guys have kept up with Chainsaw Man,
I
and the
have.
new main character. Yeah, the new main
Okay,
character. Go ahead.
I'm like a
Go ahead.
few chapters behind, so go
Okay.
ahead,
Well,
catch me
so
up, catch me up.
all right. So of course, I mean, for those who have been watching Chainsaw Man Part One and have not yet dived into Part Two, we're following a new main character, a new main protagonist in the story called Asa Mitaka, who gets inhabited by the War Devil, um, who we're going to refer to as Yoru. In this series, and the War Devil is the main antagonist in the series, and she is the main protagonist in the series. But the weird thing about Asa, is that she's very introverted. I was going to say lame, but she's lame is too, not lame as like a bad character, because she's perfectly fine in the way she is, but she's incredibly introverted, and she's kind of trying to navigate through this entire experience. It's an interesting stark difference from how they typically do in shonen. Typically women are damsel in distress, or they're really incredibly strong. In this one, um Fujimoto has taken a step to the side and be like, okay, she is a very unsociable. She hates the world. They had that chapter where the worst thing I saw in this, not the worst thing, but it's crazy. So they gave her a backstory chapter of her in the orphanage because she's an orphan. Um, and they had the chapter where she didn't make friends with any of the other kids at the orphanage, but she made friends with a cat, and she loved that cat. So eventually they're like, "Oh, okay. Don't you want to play with anything except the cat?" And she's like, "No, I don't really like other kids, to be honest with you. It is what it is." So she goes to sleep at night, and they're like, "Yo, where's your cat?" And I'm pretty sure the orphanage initially said that they ran away. And then when she asked for it again, because some of the kids saw a cat floating in the river or something, or the bank or something, asked where the cat, and the orphanage was like, "Yo, you can't be the only person here with something that you love. Like, you can't be the only person here with things that you value and cherish." And I was like, damn, Fujimoto, what is wrong with you? Like,
Yeah.
this is like peak things here. He's also had other various part of the stories where I think it's the first one, the Justice Devil arc, where her best friend dropped that line of like, "Yo, don't go to school tomorrow." Like something like, he's done a lot of things. I appreciate Fujimoto's writing, which is why I'm writing with everything that's going on in this arc thus far. And I think there is a link between, I mean, the link between the first chapter and the second chapter is by far the strongest one. Is Chainsaw Man, who appears. He is not the main character in this, but he is the main character in this. But he shows up when it's time to destroy a villain. does quite a job at it. Um, and he's still kind of being sought after, which is very strange. He's still like, if the first chapter was Makima, if the first part of it was Makima's being sought after him, the second one is Yoru, the war fiend, pretty much trying to get Chainsaw Man under control. And you learn a little bit backstory of how like these devils fought Pochita, and Pochita ran away, and now they're trying to find Pochita because all these four horsemen devils are trying to, like the four horsemen devils, which is death, war, hunger, and famine. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and all this other stuff like that. So it's evolved into this kind of like, although it's entertaining week by week to see how weird Fujimoto's brain kind of goes off kilter. Um, it is building upon the story and I guess the tale of like Chainsaw Man and all this stuff that we haven't really dived into in the first part. Um, what have you guys picked up from Chainsaw Man Part 2 thus far, and like what's sticking with you?
Jamal, I was gonna.
Oh, oh man. So essentially, you just called me up on a lot of that stuff, and it just sounds like Fujimoto's back to being Fujimoto, or he's still just him. Like it sounds like his writing is still just as weird and just as dark and just as like um, but like in a weird way, you like start connecting with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I spent all last night reading up on this because the notable thing is about the prophecy that's just been laid out in the recent chapters. July 1999 is going to be a day where a lot of people die, or the prophecy says it foresees the extinction of humanity in July of 1999, which is wild as fuck. Um, and yeah, I mean we're seeing, I guess we're preparing for whatever that is, and like we're heading in that direction. But yeah, he crazy for this one.
Yeah, I want to say like I'm glad that we're getting to see. We're still seeing Denji with his personality and how he behaves, but I'm glad that we get to see him kind of like go out and do things and be a normal person. He came from just living in a little shed, and to now he has a place with Nayuta. He kind of he sells cigarettes on the side or whatever, but it's kind of like
Which is
to
the
make
man.
money. Yeah.
So I was like, what is going on? He finds thing used cigarettes. He takes all the shit out of them, rolls them up into new cigarettes, and then sells them.
Hey, he
What a
working
hustler!
smart.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. He ain't got to waste no money. He just, all that money comes
Still,
directly back to him.
his biggest thing in Chainsaw Man is like, I'm trying to get laid. Like that's ultimately his end goal. It will be the end of his story. It will be the end of his life. That's kind of like what he's going. Even in, I think the last panel of this latest chapter is even alluding to that.
Yeah.
He says, um, is is like
I
as
just
there
want to
as
clap.
yeah, pretty much like, I've got something to live for. I got something for looking forward to. I got something I'm look forward to so much that I'm willing to eat that crap burger. And to which Asa says, "What's that?" And he says, "I want to have sex." And then Asa says, "Ew."
Yeah, like it's typical dingy, but in that moment, like it kind of made sense because Asa is looking for, like Asa was told to look forward to dying, like the world would be a
Yeah,
better place without her, and this that, and the third. And Dingy comes in to save her, and it's like Dingy getting a little philosophical, but missing the point completely. But it's typical, but I appreciate the Fujimoto for that moment. Like it's we're heading into a decent place at the very least.
I agree. I agree. He still knows how to
From what
deliver
it
those
sounds,
moments.
from what it sounds like, and it's like getting caught up. It's cool to hear that Fujimoto is telling this story, right? But you have this main character, this girl who's very introverted and going through all these things, and Denji's still kind of like this relief from all like the bullshit that's going on.
Yeah.
But
He,
but like now he's not playing such the main character role, but like it's kind of the story's kind of being told through the girl. That's what it sounds like. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, that's pretty much it. But it's also like the
Yeah.
fact that Denji gets to be the person who gets to share the life lessons, even though the way that he's sharing them is, almost there. He
Yeah,
almost there.
almost there. He's almost there. He's not quite there, but I mean, what did we expect from things? I'm interested to see what they do with Nayuta, who is the reincarnation of Makima's control devil. So I'm interested to see what they do with her. She still loves dogs. There's clearly some bit of Makima still in her. Um, so I'm interested to see what they do with her. And I'm interested to see how these four horsemen devils really kind of come into play now that we've seen. Previously, we only really saw Makima, and now that we're seeing Yoru and the other girl that showed up in the beginning, um, see how everything kind of comes into play. Um, Jamal, have you caught up on Sakamoto Days? Can you let us know what's going in the world with
Yes,
Sakamoto?
yes, I haven't caught up on Sakamoto Days because it is one of my favorites. I was kind of mad I even got behind on it. Catching up, I was like, yo, this manga is it's the feel of it.
Just announce the anime. You know what I'm
What's
saying? Like
up?
they're doing all these
Yeah, like
exhibits and
it's
shit.
yeah. Like like I can't wait to see this animated. Like it's hard to explain, but just the feeling of it get like it's cool. Like how it's drawn, how the fights are, how the story is, like this tale of like assassins and spies and all that. Like in the story that you're following now. Now we're getting into Sakamoto's past, and we're really figuring out like why him and uh is it Slur? I guess is it Slur or X?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it X?
No, I
No,
think
I
it's
think
Slur.
it's like
Uh Slur, there you go. Why essentially they had their issue in the past and like why he wants to kill Sakamoto and like him and having this split personality and him figuring out like he's always been like seeing how the story is connecting from other ends, like how the director ended up dying and how that's connected to Miles' dad and like just all this stuff converging. You're like, holy shit! Like this is what like I'm a real big fan of like James Bond movies. Like
Mm-hmm.
I watch them all the time, so I like spy shit, and like this is one of the ones where I'm like, yo, there's like all these like little secrets and all these things now popping up. It gives you that spy feeling. I'm like, okay, this is and just how it's drawn. It just looks so cool, like how they're drawn in the streetwear, how like their proportions are, and how the fights look, how they're choreographed, and I just can't wait. I can't wait to see this like animated.
I mean, I think that's all. That's what we're all waiting for at this point. I mean, there's nothing more that we're waiting for. This is quite honestly one of the more. This is going to be one of the better new action manga that we've kind of seen. So yeah, everyone's looking forward to it. They need to like hop step and jump on it and pretty much announce it for 2024 and not give us like 2025 or something along those lines. Um, with that said, let's see. What's something else um, that we can kind of catch up on? Um,
we could probably talk about Super for a hot second because
well, I'm still halfway through this original chapter, but I do like what they've been doing with it. I mean, I like that they've been adding in little tidbits. You get a little bit more than what you asked for from this retelling of the movie. But how have you felt about Super as of late, AD?
I think it's been really fun. Like you said, it's been retelling the movie ever since it came back. But I also appreciate them for finally just giving us teenage Goten and Trunks, and seeing them go to school. Like I think that's just been a really fun thing to see going forward
Oh
because
yeah,
we never got that. We never got that.
I mean, the one thing that Super Manga is doing is that it's pretty much holding over all of Dragon Ball fans, um, considering that there's no anime. And it's interesting because I think the popularity of Dragon Ball itself, it can kind of sustain with this kind of storytelling. Now, I do think they need to put it in an anime at some point in the future. But if they're going to continue to do this model where it's movies and manga and weird random YouTube series, um, they can continue to do that. I'm surprised like Netflix hasn't said like, listen, we'll pay for Dragon Ball to fucking we'll pay for you to make a new Dragon Ball series. Like, um, but you know what? It's been
Here,
fun. It's definitely worth reading over the last like year or so for sure.
Here's the thing though, like you said, I would love to see somebody come up and say, "Hey, we need to make this." But also, because of the first season of Super, do you want to sit through an expanded version of the Broly movie before we get into moral stuff? Like, because we had to
I'm gonna
sit
keep it a
through
buck. I
two.
really don't care if that's the price that it takes. If that's the price of it that it is, if that's the price for a new super anime, I'll sit through it. I like the first Broly movie, so I'll sit through it
No,
again.
that'll be tough. I
Is it
would
the same
too. The
animation
Broly
though? That's
movie,
the
the Bro.
thing.
The same animation it probably wouldn't be. But I also feel like if they do decide to go that route and retell it, and if you get extra points of this Broly movie, you get extra little moments and stuff like what they did with the Demon Slayer John, um, then I think that'll be cool. Like, but I'm not
I'll
mad
be
at it.
down. I'll be down for a Broly movie,
Yeah, or Broly. Yeah, Broly
or not
incorporated
Broly
in
movie.
the
Broly movie. Yeah, in the episodes.
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
My
yeah, for
bad.
sure. I'm not mad at it at all.
Like as
You know what I am mad at is this week's chapter of Blue Box. It's continuing the Blue Box, Blue Balls. It is the same thing going on week to week.
my man is still
And
fumbling the bag.
he's
That's
still fumbling. All right, so here's the closest thing that's happened. So here's the latest update. Here's the tea. That's what Blue Box really is.
yeah.
It's like, here's the
Here we
tea.
go. Listen, this is like girl talk.
So,
Like, tell me
so
what the fuck happened.
we are at this moment where Taiki Taiki, um, managed to, surprise Chinatsu, got her friend tickets to her basketball and rekindled their friendship and did all types of shit that I wouldn't do if I wasn't someone's actual person, but he does because he cares about her a lot. But so it's Christmas and they share a hug. Like she goes up to him and she hugs him. He doesn't come out and like hug her. She's like, "Can I get this hug?" And it's a moment that they shared, and it's one of the it's a moment in this series for sure. It's the hug, which is like wild to say, but you know what? Homeboy has been plotting this entire thing. I'm not even mad at it because we're 99 chapters in. You get what you can out of this.
Not him
But
doing
now,
all that for a hug. That would be a hug, nigga. Damn.
well, listen, he got the hug. Got the hug on
He
Christmas
got the hug.
Eve or Christmas.
I mean, he
Um,
didn't ask for it. At least he didn't at least
he
have to
didn't
ask
ask
for
for
it.
it, right? He didn't ask for it at all.
Yeah,
Um,
that's right. You know
but
what?
now, but now in the latest chapter, Chinatsu's family is back and they're taking her back for New Year's. So she's leaving his house and they have another interaction in this chapter where Chinatsu says, she walks up to him as they're like doing things and preparing things, and she's like, "Were you offended by that?" And he doesn't get to quite answer because some dude comes in and says they're giving out free juice and the thing. And I'm like, juice? Really? And we had to stop and everything. So we don't actually get to revisit the that conversation because by the time Taiki gets free from all of this and he's rushing home to go see Chinatsu before she leaves, apparently her great ass parents who don't want to take care of the child came back early and took the child early. So now she's gone until however the hell long they come back from whatever holiday that they're on. And listen, I'm sure Hina's like, yo, this is my moment right here. We stepping in. We doing it big. We gonna listen. I may have got curved that first and second time, but third time's the charm. That's what I assume Hina's gonna do. Um,
That's
but
hilarious. Damn, they came back early, so she's just gonna be
yeah,
gone for her break.
she's gonna be gone. Yeah, she's gone. She's gone until. Let me actually look at this damn chapter because I got tight. I was like, no, we're not doing this again. Come on, man. Come on. But because I'm like, this is not how this happens in real life. Like,
Is she gone for good? Is the
she's
question,
not gone for
or
good.
like
She's
she's
gone
I think
leaving?
into.
she's gonna finish the school year. That's
Hold
what it
on, let me
sounds like.
see. Let's see. We are. It's set in this latest chapter when she's gonna be back. Da, 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 da. Yeah, from tomorrow until early January. Okay, so you know what? She'll be back for New Year's. Um, but still, this is not how real life works. This is not at all. This is it's never taken me 99 chapters, 99 weeks to pull off what this is. Um, but either way, that is the story of Blue Box. Blue Box continues to like tug on your heartstrings and pull you along for the ride. You almost at the 100 chapter mark for Blue Box, so I think that qualifies
Yeah,
for a
shout out.
movie or anime or something. I don't know.
That's a lot. Ooh, that's a lot going on.
Yeah,
I
no,
can't.
it's
He
a
need a
lot. It's
break
a
from
lot.
her anyways. Though it's gonna be good for him. He need
You
a
need to
break from
focus
all
up.
that.
You need to focus up
He need to
on
focus up.
on the team.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's
listen.
true.
He need to focus on his badminton. He need to chill out for a minute.
What else do we have here? Spy
He in a good
Family's latest
spot.
Spy Family's latest arc. I enjoyed the little kidnap on the bus type of thing. I thought
Oh yeah, that was fun.
that was fun. Albeit it took like 4 months to get under control. Um,
Yeah.
Kaiju number 8. That's the one that we were like really in the throw of things. The Kaiju number 8. To be honest with you, like they're also. I mean, we're there on chapter 84. They're also approaching 100 chapters. They're going to get their anime because it's a battle shonen. So of course they're going to get the anime before the fucking lust and love shit.
Sakamoto Days. That's wild.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, but maybe there's more stuff to market with fucking Kaiju number 8 and not with Sakamoto. Sakamoto Days, you get like a teacup that's shaped like Sakamoto or something. Um, but no, they're in the throw of things with this stuff too. So there's a lot going on in the manga world. There's a lot going on in the anime world. Um, Definitely want to thank you guys for of course pulling up and also stepping out of your own way and catching up and all the stuff like that. I know how much you guys hate catching up and just like binging shit, and so you know there's a lot of things going on in the manga world. There's a lot of things going on from Manga Week on the Lookout page. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Lookout on RNC Radio. Make sure you guys subscribe to or follow the page at Lookout on RNC. um we've got a couple more weeks. Jamal and I got a couple more weeks before we break before summer. So we're going to be doing some fun things from here and there. So yeah, make sure you look out for that too. Damn it. um,
Yeah,
let's see.
for sure.
Yeah,
No, this was a good refresher for me. Like, you know, after Big Eyes ended, this is nice to get back into the world of manga. It seems like a lot of really good things is happening though. I think being able to read it, I get to read it differently now too. Like I have to analyze everything. I'm able to kind of let things play out a little bit.
I feel like post 2020 when a lot of like great ones ended. And we kind of like, especially you guys, we were kind of trying to take a look at like, all right, so what's next? What's really going to hold Weekly Shonen Jump down? Um, Turns out some of the big ones that we thought were going to end by now are still going on. So I guess they're holding it down until they end. Um, but until then, yeah. 80, any final words? You want to take us out of here?
Yeah, man. Appreciate everybody for listening. Thank you for having me on, guys. I'd like to catch up on manga stuff too. I'm probably gonna do a deep dive on a lot of different things now that y'all have put me back into it for this hot second. But yes. Stay tuned. Subscribe to the Lookout everywhere. RNC Radio everywhere. Be on the lookout. Only on the lookout. Don't meet us there.
Come
Beat
on,
us there.
do the thing. You know the thing.
What thing? Why I gotta do? Why I gotta do the thing?
Come on, drink the water.
Hey, D, what's the sign off? What's the sign
Come
off,
on, man.
Man, that's the sign off. All right. Thank you for everybody for tuning in. Please be on the lookout. Only on the lookout. Don't meet us there. Beat us there.
Drink the water.
Drink water.
You gotta drink water. Watch more anime. Read more manga. Come on,
man, y'all put me out.
I'm just gonna paste this in from. I'm gonna paste it in from a Big Eyes episode. He's too Hollywood.
No, because I forgot because it's been so long, man. Listen, please read more manga, watch more anime, be on the lookout, only on the lookout. Don't meet us there, beat us there.
All right, you know what? We'll take it. Thank you guys for tuning in this week. We'll see you guys next week. Take care.